I always stand up early, sorry.
I was ready.
She was great.
Waiting on Brian here.
I thought she was being nominated. Wow.
Okay, we're good.
Welcome, we're opening up the July 24th trustee meeting at 7:32. And if you stand, we'll have a pledge and a short devotion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'll bow your head. So Lord, we thank you so much for the beautiful weather we're getting. It's a little warm, but we can take the heat. We pray that you help bring us some rain on this end of the county. We could use that. Take care of our employees, our fire, our EMS, our road crew, our zoning, our cemetery sexton. They do the work to serve the people. Amen. So welcome, everyone. And have you had a chance to review the agenda?
Yep,
Any changes?
none for me.
I do think you have one.
Executive session at the end,
Okay.
no action.
So we'll do an executive session at the end without any action. We'll call at that time before we go into executive session, the roll. With that, have you had a chance to review the minutes for 7:10?
Trustee Puro moves to accept them as presented.
And Trustee Griffith will second, but a roll call, please.
Puro,
Yes,
Griffith,
Yes,
just make note, Cliff.
yeah. So while we're doing that, I will make note that Mr. Varian is on vacation. And so he will be back at the next meeting. But we will have to do roll call for some items this evening. And have you had a chance to review the treasurer's report?
Trustee Puro moves to accept it as presented.
Trustee Griffith seconds, roll call.
Puro,
Yes,
Griffith,
Yes. Thank you very much. And with that a little bit out of the way, we can go to public speaks. And I wigged Mr. Kurt Warren. I don't think he knows me, but I know his wife and we've met a couple times. Everybody probably knows your wife, Stephanie.
I get that a lot.
So you want to say a few words?
Sure.
Oh,
All
it
of
picks
you.
Everywhere.
Pardon me.
It picks you up breathing.
Hello to all of you. My name is Judge Kurt Wagner. So I'm just stopping by to say hello. I work for the Canton Municipal Court, which is really the municipal court of all of this territory. Obviously, all of Osnaburg. So I represent all of your constituents and everyone in this fine township. And it's my chance to get out and honestly just say hello, make sure that you know who I am, and we get to see each other once in a while, make sure things are going right. If you don't know the Muni Court, it's everything from your traffic tickets and OVIs, a lot of domestic violence and misdemeanor crimes, civil lawsuits, of the lower, small claims up to 15,000 civil lawsuits and evictions. So just enjoy seeing your meeting. I love seeing the Zoom because we haven't quite figured that out, even though through all the pandemic, I'm close, but I'm not as slick as that. So nice to see you all.
Yeah, and it's a live feed.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and then it records too. So, well, thank you and welcome. We're glad to have you here. What's that?
Makes a good record for you.
It does. It's a good, clean record without question. Okay, so with that, we'll move on to the fire report. Chief Parker.
Okay. A couple of things. The SCBA bottles have been ordered. They should be shipping, I believe, within the next week.
How many did we order
14 or 7.
of the 30 years? I'm guessing.
We did. It was up to 30 years.
I think it's 7, because I seem to check in there.
I should say. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure that it's 7. It should be.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
seven bottles.
Yeah.
And that's going to leave us in good shape for now, correct?
Correct. Yes. The last meeting though, we had tabled ordering hose. We were gonna figure out if we were able to order hose with the rest of that money, or we thought we might have a better idea of the balance of that money. So I didn't know if there was any more information on that front.
I know Cliff and I talked.
Nothing yet.
I mean, that's one of the things I need to talk to
Okay.
you.
So we're still working on that right now. He doesn't quite have the answer.
Okay,
Hopefully by next meeting, we'll have that for you.
okay,
And I believe that's to use up the rest of our American Rescue funds is what we're doing with that. We bought air packs for our air packs that expired. We need new air packs. And we're looking to see if water hose qualifies.
We have a balance there, after the cylinders have been purchased, but I want to confirm those dollar amounts before we tie up those funds.
Okay, so hopefully by next meeting, we'll have that answer. for you.
okay. I also was wondering if there was an update on the other grant, the Ohio grant for the $20,000.
Trustee Varian and I are working on that.
Yep.
We're gonna finalize it here Thursday when he comes back. He's gonna come to you with the
Great.
information he needs.
Okay.
We're gonna try to get everything done before the deadline.
Okay, anything I can do to help, I will do.
Okay.
The other thing I had on here was, and I saw that it was on the agenda, so it says on here approval needed to pay C&B $1,000 for the air compressor. That is to fix the air conditioning, and I will say it is not fixed. So that squad is going back to C&B. So I don't know, that is what that bill is from. We had taken it in, it's been over a month ago, and their system was down to fix the AC, and so it went back this week, and it is not fixed. So it is
Have
going,
they given you any inkling of anything going on? Is there parts or is they just,
they sent it back to us fixed, so I don't know, but
So-
it's not working.
So the 1,270 was to fix it, and
was.
what's back now is like warranty.
It's- Well, even on with like the invoice that they sent, they were like, if it's not working, you need to come back within 7 to 10 days. So it came back on Friday. It's headed back because it is not fixed. So I don't know what that means for you on the paying end, but the AC
Yeah.
has not been repaired.
Well, if it's not repaired, I think we should just hold that payment.
well,
right
that's what I was gonna say. I got it here prepared with a PO for the initial payment for tonight for your approval, but we can hold anything else. You can approve
Sounds
what
like
you
they're trying to
did.
make it right.
Yeah.
Oh, I could,
It
they're
is-
a good company.
Yeah,
but-
it is supposed to go back over, but I just wanted to let you know it
Do
is
you know
not
if
fixed.
it's there yet?
It is not.
Do you have to make an appointment for it to go over?
I think we'll just call tomorrow and take it over.
Okay. So, I think we could go ahead and approve the purchase order and the payment, but I'm suggesting that we don't make the payment, we hold the payment until you go back and see what's going on.
Okay.
In case something has to change. So with that, I'll make a motion that we approve the payment to C&B Body and Auto Service for $1,002.70.
Trustee Piro seconds.
You need roll call on that.
Yes.
Roll call,
Puro,
Yes.
Griffith.
yes. And we will wait to hear what you make out, Chief Parker. And so please let Brian know because
Yep.
we're not going to mail this check. We're going to wait on it.
I can do that.
Question, when I found out about the air conditioning, calling Cliff, they own different ones at the fire station. I understand the other ambulance had a glitch with their air conditioning also, but Dan was attempting to fix it in-house. Do you
Yes.
know if that has been completed?
I don't.
Okay.
I was gone all last week.
Okay, all right.
I don't.
Because it looked like he said it'd be a $50, $60 fix, what he was gonna do. It had something to do with fan motors
Yep,
and putting
Blower
something
motor.
in like that.
Yep. okay. I do not know the answer to that. I will ask.
Fine.
My only other question was, at the beginning of the year, I just wanted to refresh, did we approve to pay the football games in the same way that we have been paying the football games?
Yes,
It is
we did.
football season. Okay, I just want to make sure before I page those games out. So I already got the list from the school.
And I'll confirm with the school, I believe that they're also saying if the two members on site go to the concession stand, they'll give them some free
They
refreshments.
usually do, they're pretty good for us, yeah. We had 45 calls, I'll be honest, we've been running like 4 and 5 calls a day.
I was gonna say, it looked like it was a really busy period.
It's been, yeah, that's an understatement, and we've had a couple of fires, a couple that we've needed lots of mutual aid on, so it's been busy.
Was that grass fires or residential or?
Yes, both. We had a full building fire on Weimer, like a garage, whole building. Thankfully, the house was okay. And we're actually out currently on a place that we've been a couple of times. So,
What was the gas leak? Wood Street,
yeah. I believe it was a residential gas leak. They
Okay.
had called the gas company and called us. We actually turned that call over to Louisville because we were out on a call already
okay.
at that same time.
So did you have someone new that you were still looking at, or did we process everybody?
Everybody that we've hired has been processed, and they are all working now. Starting here in August, everybody is
On
done
the
training.
roster?
And free to
Okay.
work, yep. Which is great.
And we have gear,
Currently, we have a set that we've ordered that should come back before our member who is deployed comes back and his gear is being used. So hopefully the
Okay.
timing of that works out.
and so keep in mind when you think about the gear, the longevity of the
Yep.
weight.
Yep.
To get it?
Yep.
Okay, because it's not gonna happen quick,
No, there's a long delay.
like a year, maybe?
It's not quite a year, but it's a long time.
Okay. All right, great job, Chief Parker. Any questions? Okay, with that, if you have anything else, if not, you are free.
Sounds good. I can go back out there.
I can hear, so, thank you. All right, cemetery report, do we have anything?
We do not have anything to report. The mowing continues right now. Should be starting this week, because everything is mowed again right now. It's present.
I don't know, my side of the hill hasn't had enough rain to grow anything. We could use more rain. Let's move on to the road report, Superintendent Unkefer.
Good evening, everybody. If the trustees have looked over the road report, is there any questions you'd like to ask tonight? We're almost close to being finished. As far as the roads that are to be prepped for the roughly a little over 12 mile for the chip and seal for the middle next month. Just have a little bit more to do and we'll be done with that.
Did we get a estimated date for the chip and seal to take place
Not exact, but it's right around the middle of the month.
of August?
Yes,
2.5.
that's what Art said from 2020.
Boom Mars working good now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Everything's running good so far.
I seen you took off 3 loads of trim off of Fairhill.
Yeah, we went from.
Did that do it, or did you get done there, or?
Yeah, yes, we went from Indian Run, clear up past Danny Neff's house there, all the really low hanging limbs. So it isn't in the way of the machines and everything coming into chip and seal.
Any report on the new truck?
I talked to Tom just last week. He was supposed to have a meeting today with the guys from the factory. So I'm hoping to talk to him tomorrow.
Okay.
I
Just to give us an idea
hadn't
where we're at.
received a call from him today, so I figure he'll probably call me tomorrow because I don't know what time that meeting was supposed to be today, but he said it was supposed to be Monday.
And so,
And I talked to Gledhill. They
okay,
called as far as for taking care of the bed and the wet lines and everything, the plow, you know.
didn't we order this truck last year?
And
And we were supposed to have the chassis last month. But then Tom called back and said now that's backed up till first of the year, after the first of the year, so.
That might change again.
It could,
too, because
that's
the
the
way
one I'm
things
hoping.
are slowing down so fast.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
hoping we'll have some, maybe a positive call when he calls
Okay.
from after the meeting.
Okay. Any questions more for Mr.
I have
Eichelberg?
none.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Making this a quick night. Maybe I'll have a record tonight. Hear that, Mary? Let's move on to the zoning inspector.
So, today you had 3 permits issued, 1 for a pool, 2 for solar panels.
I'll point out that I did not get that receipted because when I come in, I saw your notes and your checks and payments. So that is not on the treasurer's report. So it's not reflected on there.
So is that residential solar panels?
Rooftop ones.
Okay.
The permits came in for them, but they just sent the checks and got them today, so.
So that's odd to have 2 different residents at the same time go for solar panels. Is there some type of breakout there now if you take?
I believe there is. They're offering a little bit of money if you switch over to some solar on the roof.
If you find that out for sure, Mary, then Brian could post it on the website because there might be more people interested if there's like a partial grant or something out there that these people are picking up.
Okay. Over on the nuisance side, we got a couple new things. Number 1 there is over on Sunlight. There was a neighbor that called in about neighbor building onto a building that's already there without any permits, and also called about junk vehicles and stuff over there. So that just came in today, earlier today. I went and looked at it. Where they're building on is behind the building, so it's kind of hard to see. And there's a couple vehicles beside the building, but I didn't see too much when I was out there.
So this received on that one, is that just the complaint received? Okay, so you haven't really got into it, okay.
Over on Holland, last week got a message from a neighbor complaining about reflective stakes, the little pole ones, being in the township right away for the road. Says the neighbor does it every year, and from what I see, they're just lining the front yard right along the road and both sides of their driveway. I don't see any issues with it.
Is that to keep people from driving into the
I
yard?
think so.
Wow.
And we
Well, it's
don't have
probably not
anything in the
parking
book
along the edge
for
of the
it,
road there. It's probably what they're trying not to do.
so.
There's
Yeah.
different ones around town. I've seen different ones.
I'll drive back Holland. I didn't have time to do that yet, but I don't see any, if they want to put the stakes out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's in our road right away. If it gets to where it's snow season and we think it's an issue, we'll say something to them, but I'd rather have people hit their driveway than the ditch.
They're just the little cheap
Yeah, that's
ones.
not gonna affect. the
It's
snow
not
plow.
usually a problem for us because everybody on that street mows their yards clear to the road.
Yeah,
If anything, it'll help the plow driver.
Yeah, it
They
helps
know
us see
they're
where the
at.
edge is.
yeah.
Right.
They're not gonna stop the truck, they'll bust them all.
No, it's not.
So are you going to respond to the complaint?
Yeah, I'll reach out to him again.
Okay.
Over on the one with Broadway with the junk vehicles that people were complaining about, I drove by a couple times, nothing's changed, and the vehicles that are there don't meet the requirements to be junk vehicles. They all look like they run and they aren't missing anything, except for one's missing a bed.
A bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not one of the 4 items the state says.
So as far as that, there's nothing I can do more with it, so I marked that as resolved.
You could send them just a general letter from you, not a formal letter, but general letter saying that there's quite a few cars sitting there. If you're able to not have so many, that would be great. you know,
Okay.
just a polite little letter.
Okay. The other junk cars over on Swollen there, I talked to Mr. Burns. He did remove 4 of them that were there. The rest of them are parked behind the building, covered with tarps, or inside the building. And he is still planning on putting up a fence once he gets a little bit more funds in to be able to do so. But
I don't think there's anything you can do with that one.
no, they're all back where you gotta look real hard to be able to see them. And you're not gonna really see them from the road. And then the one over on Ravenna with the high grass, I sent out another letter today about it. On the auditor's website, it shows a P.O. box. And so I sent a letter to that one, and then I also sent one to the actual address, just in case they don't have access to the P.O. box. And then as far as the one
Let's
without.
go back to that one. Is it because it's by the house? I'm seeing there's a barn there. Where's the high grass?
It's around the house.
It's supposed to be on the big screen.
Hmm?
He's supposed to put this on the big screen.
Well, I don't know how
I don't
permanent
see
that
anything
is.
there, but
So does it look like they've mowed it all,
It does not look like they moved.
at all this year?
Mhm.
Did you pull them up on the auditor site to make sure there wasn't a financial thing going on there?
When I talked to the neighbors, they think one of the people that live there might have died.
Okay.
So that might be what's part of the problem.
Have you tried to reach out to them yet or not? Did you send them anything?
Who?
The high grass?
they just
Yeah, I already
sent
sent
the
them a
letter today.
letter.
And did they didn't respond?
No, I sent that to the P.O. box, which is why I tried both addresses this time, just in case.
Okay. Because it's possible there's no one in there right now. Possible. I don't know that for sure. We'll see what Brian pulls up. The other thing, is it a neighbor that complained?
Mhm.
So the neighbor doesn't know anything?
No, not anything for sure.
Okay.
They were just concerned because it was getting high and they already got rats and stuff kind of running around in that area.
Because of the barn?
Mary,
all
am I
barns
on the
have
right?
rats.
I got the parcel number in there.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like the right location?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically up all around it, it's growed up from not being mowed.
It's the one with Circle Drive, right?
The barn's a long way from that house, isn't it? It's kind of odd.
Oh, I see it. It's the house down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought that was the house and the barn was in the back. Okay.
No, I think that's a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
It's not even mowed. None of it's mowed?
Doesn't look like any of
No.
it's been mowed.
yeah.
I go by it every day going to work.
The other thing you could do, I mean, I don't know who lives there. Do you know who lives there? You don't have to tell me who it is, but since we're not getting any response, maybe it's check with the health department to do a wellness check on them. Hopefully there's not somebody in the house or something. Might be something to do.
Okay.
Because they've usually always mowed before.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the neighbors said they would mow.
There's an older gentleman that lived there for
Yeah, so
many,
maybe we
many,
need to
many
do a
years.
wellness check
Okay.
and see if they can come up with something. So before we do anything like else, we just need to figure out if there's anybody even there. And then if we have to, we can follow the rest of those certified letters and then have Jim mow it.
Okay.
But as dry as it is right now, it's not gonna be growing. Okay. No, did you ever get a response on Ravenna?
No phone calls or anything. Last time I sent a letter, the mom called me. This time, nothing.
So you have had some communication, they're just not following through. So at this point, and we said we would let that go if they paid for their building permit.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would just send the prosecutor a little question and say, this is how we're going to resolve it. They've not responded to the taking out the building permit. And what can we do about that?
Okay.
Because that building permit, it's not really so much the fee that when they fill out that building permit too, it kind of alleviates us of any future responsibility. And if they are across the property line, we just want to seal it up on our end.
I don't know why they don't just fill it out, be done with it.
Unless they think we're going to turn it down. Well, you already built it, so.
No, it doesn't, yeah.
Did we let them know that it was going to be approved on your end? They just needed
Yeah.
to submit?
That's why I put in my letter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't believe they don't just finish it.
Yeah. So I see we've canceled the August meeting for the zoning commission.
Yeah, the commission, a lot of them are on the fair board and will be busy in August. So that was figured to go ahead and cancel. They are currently working on some new language regarding mobile homes to help kind of create some kind of requirements for them to be able to have some in the township. Hopefully to help new homeowners that get started out.
I think that's a good idea. With the cost of these houses now for a young person is pretty tough.
Yeah, but those mobile homes, I think they start new, they're like 40, 50,000. But
Yeah, but you can find used ones.
you can.
Mayor, you sold that, I had that posted that meeting.
So their next meeting will be September 18th. And our Board of Zoning Appeals will be having a variance meeting on the 7th. That's regarding a new garage due to setback requirements. It doesn't go back very deep. It's kind of a longer lot, so they have some setback issues.
Did you include the newest board member on that for the BZA? Kevin, yeah. Because were you here when we agreed to hire him for that position?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'll let him know.
And then when you meet with them, would you encourage all those members again, because we're still short alternate positions over there, that if they come up with any suggestions, we could use actually we need an alternate on the commission too. Anything else?
Not listed on here, but another call I got today was over on Midi. A neighbor, who takes care of his sister. She owns the property, but she has Parkinson's. He came in and noticed that the neighbor beside them possibly built over a property line. So I'm gonna check into that.
So, I mean, you can look into that, but the only thing we can do is, it's really a civil case and they have to work it out. And I believe, can't they get a mediator to help with that between two?
There's private mediation, there's a community mediator, and even if they go to court, they probably get a mediator
Yeah,
appointed to try and help out. 'Cause
I know, they seem to think.
nobody
that-
wants to hear that case.
Well, thank goodness under revised code, the township can't help them. because it's really a civil thing. But hopefully I would encourage them to talk to each other and work it out before they go anywhere else, if possible.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say on the auditor site, when you pull up those land boundaries, they're not always what they appear to be. They could be off by quite a bit.
Yeah,
So if that's what they're using,
Right.
Did something get built without even issuing a permit or?
that's what I was gonna check into. I believe they got their permits for it, but I didn't have a chance to check yet.
because we've had that happen between residents before.
Mhm.
And when you actually had a surveyor find the stakes, it wasn't, because the surveillance can be off some.
Mhm.
It's usually pretty good though, but, okay, anything else on zoning?
That's all I have.
All right, nice. Any old business? We still have not been able to get a hold of Bodo Surveying, and you're gonna try again, right?
Mhm. This is regarding the park.
The park,
Okay.
yeah. We had some ground left through a planned gift to us to build a community park on, 50-some acres. And before we move forward with it, we need to have it surveyed because it's got farm fields on each side, and they're suggesting that farm fields creep a lot. So we're not sure where our boundaries are. So we're trying to get that completed as part of our process. Anything else from the Huntington on the Succo's property?
When I updated him at the last one, he said, as long as we're working on it, he's happy and just keep him updated.
Okay,
And he just so you know, like the electric bill is around $25 a month for that location. The mowing, when Beck does it, twice a month he's been doing it. We're trying to stretch that out a little bit just to keep it all looking good because it looks good. But every time I submit the bills, the bank trustee is processing them right away.
so we have the full electric onto the house and the garage and stuff.
It's a temporary. It's still the temporary that was hooked up back when the previous owner's family was doing their cleanup. That's just what's there. It's just a temporary.
So how long do we get to keep temporary?
And that's a question I haven't asked AEP yet. I don't know how long that'll be because it just went in the spring. So I don't know if they go 6 months or if they'll say, okay, you got to, get it done. I haven't looked in and pursued that.
Okay, well, and those buildings are not gonna change. So maybe we should be looking into, don't we have to have a regular certified electrician go in there next then, or?
You have to pull a permit, yeah, it's gonna need updated. The panels, I think, were missing the doors and stuff, and that's not gonna fly. So you're gonna have to get somebody in there to get an estimate, without a doubt. And I know they have to pull a permit when the meter's pulled.
But they can come in and give us the estimate first before they pull a permit, right?
Well, right, but you'll have to pull a permit for AEP to do anything. They won't even come
Yeah.
out and talk to you.
But we can find an electrician to go in and
Right,
look at it
right.
next.
Well, they probably most electricians have experienced this at some point.
So who would we be looking to use for that?
We have one in the township.
There was the one
I'll get a
fellow.
name.
There was one fellow, I want to say Miller, but maybe it's not Miller, but we had that one that gave us that initial, I thought he was in the
Brandon
town.
Gregg does electric and he's in the township. I'll try and find a number for him.
And see because I think we have to show some movement forward here on this. So if we could get that estimate on what
I'll
kind
try
of,
and get a hold of him. And I don't have a number on me now, but I'll
That's
see
fine.
if I can locate a number to at least get an estimate from him.
yeah, on what he thinks needs to be done.
Brian, you have keys?
Yes.
At least we can report back that we're moving forward with something. And then depending on this inspection, then we'll decide what we're gonna do.
I don't know, trustees, if you have any contacts, it really would be nice before we suggested putting the electric in or a combination, having some kind of a developer of the building evaluate. I know you all walked through it, looked it over, just to see if anything needed modified for that feed in there or adjusted in any way, shape, or form.
As far as what?
I mean, structurally changing it.
I don't think, this won't matter. I mean, you're gonna have to, he's gonna come out just to get you in.
He's just gonna put the covers on the boxes and.
So it's safe and then.
Make sure we have the
then
right
it won't
plugs.
be doing any wiring throughout the building.
Well,
And then AEP will give us a permanent meter then.
Right, then from there, before you do anything else, I agree, whatever you wanna do with that.
well, that's what I was saying, the hookup, I remember we did get an initial price, but I don't have that right in front of me on doing initial hookup, but it was very costly because they didn't know what level we wanted to do, like to turn everything on. So that's where this temporary came into play, just so they could have enough power there to run some basic electric. I just didn't know, the structure of the building. I think you all thought it could be developed into something, but I didn't know if we had a developer or someone that could look at that building at all.
Well, and we really, even with the temporary power, there wasn't really lighting in there for us to see a lot. So I think we just need to get the inspection, see what they say about, and then we can get some other sources in there for the other rooms to turn the lighting on.
Get some estimates.
Yeah, okay. Any old township business? That was that. Any other?
I don't know.
Okay, new township business.
Most of those three things are my doings on there for the agenda. The trustees' approval for the supplemental appropriation of $60,000 general fund. Back in April 10th, when we received $60,000 from Energy Harbor as part of our electric aggregation, I had to get that certified. It's a process. When I submitted it in, I did receive it actually in June, but it's dated May 2nd that it was certified by the auditor and the treasurer. I did not do a supplemental adjustment to the appropriation status, and that's what I would like to ask to be done. I'd like to make that, right now, when you look at the treasurer's report, the money's there, but it hasn't been officially appropriated. All it needs done is a supplemental appropriation. You all still decide where you want to do with that money. You can use it on any kind of capital improvement where you see fit, because I put it in the general fund, and that's where it's certified in the general fund.
Where did it come from?
The Energy Harbor electric aggregation.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And I just need it in there because to have it in there, when you're looking at that treasurer's report, the total amount, then you would see that on there as part of the appropriations, that when you make the move, we may need whether, I don't want to say emergency, but something on a capital job this.
Trustee Puro moves to do a supplemental appropriation of $60,000 in the general fund.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
Roll call, Puro.
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a side comment there, because of where the source of that funding is, I do think whatever projects we do with that need to be to the benefit of the community, because that's where we're getting that funding from, really.
And that's what's in the writing, that the Energy Harbor's little contract they have. It says any capital improvement the trustees see fit. So it's a
Okay.
capital improvement somewhere where you see fit. The next one was the work session I advertised for you trustees, was asked to be rescheduled. I think we all reached out, and it looks like the August 2nd for those applicants to do that work session. I think that was all when I talked to everyone.
Did we get a call into the applicants that we have so far to tell them that date?
It's all set up,
Okay.
Right?
What was the time you gave them on that?
6:15 and 6:40.
Okay. And we're still gonna try the 5:30 then? Is that
I have it at 5:45.
5:45?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way, if you want to discuss right before prior, anything work session related to before you start interviewing. And we're okay on that.
Okay. Let's go to the alternative tax budget for 24.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check our next meeting. This is the 3-week span, would be August 14th. I'm just double checking everyone's going to be here. I see Brenda smiling. I just want to double check.
I'd like to be on vacation, but that isn't gonna happen.
No, I want to check because I'll have that prepared anytime after July 31st. Once I do all the billing and everything, I take that snapshot. We have to have that to the auditor by August 20th. So the next meeting we have, I'll have that prepared for you all to look over, that alternative tax budget for the remainder of the year, which starts up 2024.
Okay. All right. So with that, do we have any other business that we need to talk about? And I'll say thank you, Mr. Warren, Judge Warren. We get Judge Warren for coming and stopping in to see us.
Are you up for re-election in November?
Yes. It's just like going door to door.
Yeah.
Gotta say hi to everybody.
And
See how-
not to ask you, but what role is your wife actually playing right now? Because she keeps changing. She's her position. Yeah, I think her title's changed a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I make fun of her. I think she went from executive director to vice president, and it's the same job.
Okay.
So she's still in charge of leadership Stark County.
Okay.
That's her favorite. That's what she does. She runs the whole program and keeps it all running.
Well, she does it very well. That's
They
where I
change
met
titles
her.
because you can either pay people or give them a different title.
Yeah, that's where I met her, was through Leadership Stark County.
Yes. So she's still basically just running leadership Stark County and also a North Canton Council member.
Yeah, I seen she was elected, right?
Yes.
Which keeps her very busy. So who cooks
You
supper at
understand
night?
all of that.
Who cooks supper at night?
Oh, our kids left us, so now it's kind of,
Whatever.
here's something. Clean out the cupboard.
I will say I'm lucky my husband cooks a lot. He grills. He's a grill master. You don't really cook, he grills.
Right.
So, all right, well, with that, we are going to announce our executive session. We'll let Mr. Pirro do that, and then when we're done, we're going to,
You want to do the motion to pay the bills first?
You can do that.
we can do
first.
the pay bills, yeah.
Trustee Pirro moves to pay bills.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
Roll call, Pirro,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
Trustee Pirro moves to go into executive session at 8:15 for matters required to be kept confidential, with no action being taken afterwards.
Correct. We will not be taking any action. Trustee Griffith seconds that.
Roll call, Pirro,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes. Let me thank everyone for attending, and you get out early tonight, 45 minutes, actually 43 minutes. You started 2 minutes late.
Right, maybe that's the reason. Easiest public speech you've ever heard.
Usually it's later.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, my pleasure. You get the hardest job. You gotta talk to people. Get your stuff cleaned up. You gotta get rolling, guys.